16th, 2008, Joseph O'Malley was driving his car drunk down a Wisconsin road. He crossed the center line and crashed into a truck, killing a 52-year-old driver. The person who died in this crash could have been any one of our relatives. But how angry would you be to learn that this was O'Malley's 5th drunk driving offense, he was free on bail, and driving with a revoked driver's license? We hear stories like this all too frequently here in Wisconsin. Drunk driving is not a new concern for us. In fact, we've been criticized for our lenient drunk driving laws, weak punishments, ineffective deterrent strategies, and proud drinking culture. Today, I'd like to address the problem of drinking and driving in Wisconsin. I'll provide you with some info on how Wisconsin measures up compared to the rest of the nation. And I will also briefly explain 2 current laws that we have in place that may be keeping Wisconsin's drunk driving rates on the high end. Lastly, I'll tell you what needs to be done to fix the problem. Wisconsin's first town hall meeting on impaired driving was actually held in August of 2008, which is very recent. You can access the entire town hall meeting from the Wisconsin Eye website. One of the speakers, Major Dan Lonsdorf, who is the director of the Bureau of Transportation Safety, gives us an idea of how Wisconsin measures up compared to the rest of the nation. He says that 43% of fatal crashes in Wisconsin are alcohol related, and that's compared to 32%, which is the national average. He puts the problem into perspective when he says that for every 1 arrest made in Wisconsin, 200 don't get arrested. There are 44,000 drunk driving arrests made in Wisconsin every year. Now think about that.
Wow.
That adds up to 20 to 25,000 drunk drivers sharing the roads with us each and every day. That's like playing Russian roulette, unwillingly. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation website claims that according to a nationwide study released in April of 2008 by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 26% of Wisconsin adults surveyed admitted that they had driven under the influence of alcohol in the previous year. So what are we doing wrong? To begin with, Wisconsin is the only state in the nation that doesn't treat the first drunk driving offense as a crime. The Department of Transportation says that if you have never had an operating while intoxicated or an OWI conviction, you will be ticketed, your license will be revoked for 6 to 9 months, but you are eligible for an occupational license immediately after the offense. No jail time is required. Another speaker at the town hall meeting was Dennis Hughes, who was the Chief of Safety Programs from the Bureau of Transportation Safety. He says that most drivers involved in fatal crashes or serious crashes had no prior OWI convictions on record. This is statistics from 2007. 3 out of 5 OWI convictions are first offenders. And you can see that they drop off significantly after the first offense. David Wambach, who was the district attorney in Jefferson County, who was also another speaker at the town hall meeting, points out that lack of punishment for the first offense is what is helping send the message that drunk driving is no big deal. He compared drunk driving to driving down the road with a defective muffler. That's how we treat it in Wisconsin. It's just annoying. It's clearly illegal, but it's treated like a civil offense. The system is basically saying that it's okay the first time, and that's unacceptable. Wambach explains that that is why there are more first offenders than second offenders involved in crashes. The first offenders have no real threat of punishment, so there is going to be more of them. The second area we need to look at is deterrence. And what is Wisconsin doing to discourage drunk driving in the first place? The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says that Wisconsin is one of 12 states that does not conduct sobriety checkpoints because it violates a Wisconsin statute, which says that law enforcement cannot stop or inspect a vehicle solely to determine compliance with a statute or ordinance unless they have reasonable cause. A common argument against sobriety checkpoints is that Wisconsin does not have the manpower to conduct an efficient one. There is a belief that in order to conduct efficient checkpoints, several dozen law officers are needed, and that would take officers off the road where they're needed the most. Another criticism for sobriety checkpoints involves the low number of arrest rates as a result of conducting the checkpoints. An article in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel focused on this issue. James Seafell, who is the senior program director for the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation, says that police for the most part think that sobriety checkpoints are not effective because they don't arrest that many drivers. So what should we do? The first step is we need to criminalize the first drunk driving offense. Our current method is unacceptable because those who haven't been caught yet have no real reason to stop. There is no threat. David Wambach says that when we're serious about an undesirable behavior, we criminalize it. That tells people that it's a bad and unwanted behavior. Second, we need to find a way to conduct sobriety checkpoints. We need to ask ourselves, how have the other 38 states managed to conduct their checkpoints constitutionally and legally? Next, we need to consider the concern of limited officers available to conduct checkpoints. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says that checkpoints conducted with as few as just 3 to 5 officers have proven to be just as effective as those conducted with several officers. And what about the low arrest rates? Well, that's not how we should be gauging the checkpoint's effectiveness. The purpose is to deter drunk drivers, not necessarily catch them. The Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation site had an article from the Traffic Injury Prevention Journal that said that there is substantial and consistent evidence from research that highly publicized, highly visible, and frequent sobriety checkpoints in the US reduce impaired driving fatal crashes by 18 to 24%. Imagine what may happen to the nation's drunk driving fatality average if Wisconsin did everything we could to discourage drunk driving. Imagine how much safer our roads would be. What we need to do is take immediate action. We need to contact the governor. We need to write to our state legislatures. And as a matter of fact, Mothers Against Drunk Driving website has take action forms in which you can fill them out, and they'll submit it to the appropriate offices for you. And of course, we need to take personal responsibility. If you've had too much to drink, call a cab or a sober driver. And if you're out at a bar or restaurant, the Tavern League of Wisconsin offers a safe ride program at many bars and restaurants in Wisconsin that you can take advantage of. And of course, drink responsibly and be safe this holiday season. Thank you.